What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. We're about an hour away from doing our live stream, our members call-in live stream, and we've had such a great time with that. And I appreciate everybody who is a channel member that joins us. We've been doing it for about 4 years, 5 years now. I can't even remember, it's been so long. And I'm out here. See, this is cool. I'm gonna tell you guys, every guy needs to have his space, okay? This is one of my spaces, okay? This is my red brick house storage building, okay? My storage building. And put this together so that way I can keep all my lawn tools and stuff out here and things. I had a lot of building materials that were left over from jobs. You know, these windows I've had actually in my garage for about 16, 17 years. And so I used them in here to build my, it's only 8 by 12, but you know, I got my chainsaws and all this stuff. So it is meant to look like it's a storage building. But see, I got a fan, I can open up the windows, I got light, I got power. I'm trying to, what I'm thinking of doing is thinking about putting the TV up there, okay? So you gotta put the TV up there so it's hidden. Because what happens is the wife comes down here and she only peeps in the door. She don't really come in and walk around. So if I put the TV up there, she won't notice it, right? And see, oh honey, I gotta go do some work at the shop. I gotta go varnish some wood. So I came out here and varnished the wood, but then I can kind of chill. You see, I got a cooler here. I may get myself like a small refrigerator, like one of those 2 cubic foot ones, and put it like under the workbench over there. That way, I come out here and chill. You know, stay away from the honeydew list. Oh honey, I'm going out to work on that honeydew list. Shit, pop me a Mike's cold lemonade, pop on the TV. I got the fan out here for when it gets warm, right? And just chill. So I was sitting here thinking, because of course, this is cut down time. We're gonna cut down on the players that we have on our roster to get down to 53. Well, there's also, of course, cut downs for all 32 teams. And there's players that are going to be cut that you look at and maybe you want to take a second look at, and maybe you start thinking, this might be somebody I'd like to have on my team, right? We already see Shiloh Sanders has been cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was in a fight yesterday and during the game and stuff, and so his coach basically said there's no place for that here on the team. He got a little hot-headed, got a little heated, and starts throwing punches. And you hurt your team. So he's got some growing up and learning to do. I'm not going to say that he don't. He does. But it might not be a bad thing for the Cowboys to consider signing him. Legacy guy. Now, there's another guy who was kind of set up yesterday, at least by some people's opinion. I didn't see it. But Shedeur Sanders, they had him as the 4th string quarterback. They had him literally with no blocking whatsoever, no real targets. Some people say they kind of set him up to fail. You know, to basically say, well, see, look what he did. And I've seen some videos out there where they'll say, oh, well, Shedeur, he didn't read the pocket. He should have stepped up. His drop back was too far, and this, that, and the other. And here's why the other guy, Gabriel, he's got it better and stuff. So they're going through to sell him and saying that he's worthless, okay? I saw the first preseason game. He did not look bad in that first preseason game. But if he does get cut by the Cleveland Browns and he makes waivers deep enough where the Cowboys could get him, don't you think the Cowboys should take a look at that? Now, I get it. Now, Joe Milton looked better this past game. He looked a little more under control. But again, we're looking at situations where was that really the best competition out there? And maybe you look at it and say, Shedeur, you know, he's had a pedigree there. He is another one of those legacy picks. And at this point, You have to say, after what's happened with the draft and him, remember when people were saying that the Cowboys are going to dump Dak Prescott and draft Shedeur? They're going to move up to draft Shedeur. Okay, be that as it may, that didn't happen. But here's what did happen. He ended up dropping to Cleveland, and if he gets cut, you're talking about not having to give a penny compensation for it. If the Cowboys have been willing to go ahead and trade a 5th round for Joe Milton and a 4th round for Trey Lance, are you telling me that the Cowboys shouldn't think about signing Shedeur if he is cut? Seriously? Are you telling me that they shouldn't take a chance on that? I'd say that you definitely do. Do Dion a solid. You know what I'm saying? I would go through and say, let's bring in both of them. Why the hell not? Listen, you try and find out. And as Stephen Jones always says, player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job. And you're always looking to find players, especially value picks or value adds, that can help your team. Well, here you go. There's a value add that can help your team. So there we are. And we haven't heard anything from the Brian Schottenheimer meeting with Micah Parsons, basically to say, dude, what the F? What the F, dude? What are you doing? That's basically what he's going to say to him. What are you doing? You're throwing me under the bus now. Yeah, so there's that. We'll wait and see if we hear anything about that before our live stream at 5 o'clock. We'll see on that one. And we'll see when the Cowboys, some teams have already started the process of letting guys go. Let's see if the Cowboys wait till the last minute to do it, or if they go ahead and get this shit started sooner than later. So, I like this little space. I think this spot is excellent. Look at it. Isn't it cute? And see, here's what's funny is, this is what's really funny is, my wife is an organized hoarder, okay? She's not one of those hoarders where you see shit all over the place. She just does not want to throw away anything, okay? So this chair I'm sitting in right now has been in so many different rooms at our house. And finally, there's no place for it at home. So I was like, oh, we're going to get rid of the chair, right? She's like, no, we're not throwing that away. I'm like, oh, come on, Trey. We can't keep everything. It's old. Look at it. Look, it's worn down. She said, well, I think it should go in your storage shed till I figure out what to do with it. I have to say, shit, this was the perfect, she don't know. She don't know. And maybe I have to make the TV so it just kind of goes up in the ceiling there, and then it could come down. Boom. Yeah. This is a real man's workshop. Peace.